has mentioned, we often expect progress to be linear, right? In a very straight line, straight movement. But in reality, the results are our efforts that are often delayed. Okay, the result of our efforts are often delayed. थोड़ा सा time लगता है, but yes, you will get that track where you will do wonders in life. All right, with this particular graph, I would like to put your notice with time and results. The graph is still the same. Here we have the time and here we have the results. All right. So what happens? In this graph, you can see that the linear progress is what we expect. That what happens, what should happen exactly. What should happen that we think of, we expect this. But what actually happens? There is a downfall first and then there is a raise. There is a downfall first and then there is a raise. Now, what happens in this blue part of the graph? You can see this is known as the valley of disappointment. Here, the kids, the adults, or whoever is struggling with something or any improvement, they get disappointed very easily. Very easily, they get disheartened and disappointed. But where the magic happens? The magic happens at a certain point of time. You can see a very small star here. Now, what actually is happening? After that, there is a very small star. Now, from here, the linear progress is like this, but the graph goes like this. So that's the magic of 1% better every day. It's a very small thing, but it would land up to it would make you land up to great places. Moving ahead, goals versus system. Goal is nothing but a very a very point of achieve, a very point that we want to achieve, what we expect, what we have made, what the promise we have made with ourselves. Okay, and system is a proper systematic step by step thing. Now, James Clear has said in this book that forget about the goals and focus on the system instead. Forget about the goals and focus on the systems instead. Now, let us learn how is it happening. Let's get into the science now. Now, here you can see a mountain. A mountain, the goal is still same. This red flag, this flag part is the goal. Every one of you has set a particular goal that, okay, we want to achieve this, we want to achieve that. All right. But if you will try to climb up the mountain like this, directly, slantingly, step number one and the step two is the goal. That is not possible. So, what he has said, goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. Now, when we take it as a system, you can see the stairs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Now, what is happening here? What is happening here? With one particular step, you are getting close to your goal. You're getting close to your goal, right? There are certain pointers. The path you can see in between here are the pointers, the milestones, what we say. The difference between goal, achievement, and milestone, like the goal or achievement and the milestone. The basic difference is milestones are the measurables that is making you close to your goals and achievements. Okay. So that is why focusing on systems are much more important rather than focusing on the goal only. Moving ahead. Now we'll understand what is the problem and what are the certain problems with only having goals, because we don't know about the systems, we just have a goal. We don't know about the execution, we just have a goal that, okay, this is something I want and this is what I really want and I will have it. But how? No idea we have. So if you have only goals, what are the key problems that you can face? Problem number one, win or lose, same goal. That basically means whether you are a winner or a loser, whether A or B, whomsoever is the winner and the loser, both share the same goal. It was just the trophy, just the victory, just that particular winning thing. That was the goal for both of them. It doesn't differentiate you from the loser or from the winner. Okay. Number two, problem number two. The problem number two is momentary change only. Now, momentary change only, it is just for the time being. It is not for a great extent. It is just for the time being. Goals are uh, a long term thing, and the change with goals is a momentary. Okay, is momentary only. Next, the next problem. All right, the conflict of either or. Now, what does it mean exactly? The problem of either and or. See, if you have a goal, you have set a goal, and there is no way in between. It is either 0 or 100. There is no way in between, no progress, no rewards, no recognition. Either you will win or you lose. Either you have success or you have failure. Now, this is something which doesn't make any sense exactly. It is just 0 or 100 thing, nowhere in between. What progress did you made? What rewards do you deserve? And even 1% progress is also a progress, right? For example, you have scored 60% in your first terminals. Now, in your half yearlies, you have scored 65%. There is maybe your goal was 80% or 85%, and you have studied very hard. But even if this is like 65% or 68%, 60 to 68, there you have still improved that 8%, right? Now, where is that? If you haven't achieved your goal, that was 85%, doesn't mean you have done nothing. You have worked really hard. You have put your day and night and efforts and everything. You have spent a lot of time to understand things, to keep things in your brain, and to read, to revise everything. But it doesn't make sense. If you just have goals focused, then it doesn't make sense exactly. And there will be no satisfactory feeling. The very next problem that we have of having goals only. Goals versus long term progress. Again, goal is something which is just a thought. Okay. If you need a long term progress, you have to, have those stairs that, okay, I have stepped one step ahead. Okay, I have made this much progress. Next step, next stair, this much progress. Next stair, this much progress. So there is no long term progress if you will only focus on goals. You need to focus on the system, on the path, rather than the goals only. You need to focus on the goal, but not only on the goal. Okay, moving ahead. Now, there are three layers. We have layers in earth, we have layers in skin. So, in the same manner, if we want to make a change in our behavior, we have three layers of behavior change. Now, let us see how does it work. Okay, so the three layers are nothing but outcome, process, identity. Okay, there are three layers: outcome, process, and identity. How does it work now? Let us understand. James Clear said, behind every systems of action are systems of belief. Your habits shape your identity, and your identity shapes your habit. Everything is linked. It is not like if you will just focus on the outcome, there will be no progress, and there will be no process and no identity or no belief system. You have to go through all of them. It all interdependent at the end of the day. How? Let us check. Now, your outcome is nothing but what you want to achieve. What do you want to achieve? The result. For example, losing weight, um, topping in the class, and winning a competition, something like that. The result. What? The answer to what? Okay, what do you want to achieve? Now comes the process. This is the answer to how. What is going to be the execution part? What about the execution part? The answer to your how. Nothing but habits. If you want some outcome, some result, you have to go through a process, right? So that is nothing but your habits. What about identity? Identity is nothing but who you want to become. Who you want to become. The answer to who and the belief system. For example, if you want to lose weight, or if you want a fit body, it is nothing but you want to have an athletic body, or you want to be an athlete. If you want to top in the class, or you want to score very high, you don't want anything but you want to become a topper. And if you want to win a championship or something, or a competition, any competition, olympiad, or IIT, uh, JE, whatever. So, what are you doing? What do you want to become? Who you want to become exactly? You want to be a winner. Okay. Moving ahead, the habit loop. Loop is something which has no end. Okay. So, what is a habit loop exactly? How do you make certain changes by repeating things every day? How do you make the loop out of it? For example, here is an example of learning French for 15 minutes every day. But every day you can see there is a calendar which is marking it up. Okay. And there is a picture where there are certain French words available. Now, how will you do that? There is a whole process again. All right. The habit loop. The four steps of habit building. There are certain four steps that we need to follow. What are they? Let's get into the science again. Number one is the cue. The cue. Number two is the craving. Number three that we need to follow is the response. And number four is the reward. Cue is nothing but a signal sort of thing. Craving is what do you aspire for? What do you want? The wants you have. Next is the response. In the response to the craving, what did you do? And the reward after responding in that particular manner, what did you get? Now, checking on to it, let us check an example. For example, you are doing something, or you're making a project, for example. You stuck with a mind block at work. Like you in the middle of the project making, you stuck with a mind block. This is the cue. This is a signal of what? Now the craving. What do you want? What is your need? What is your want? You feeling stuck. Now you want to relieve from frustration. You have been working so long on the project, but now you need to feel relieved from that, relieved from the frustration of that continuous work. What would you do now? Nothing but pull out the phone and open social media for a 5 minutes of small break. This is the response of your craving. All right. Now, in this particular response, what did you get? What is the reward that you get? You satisfied your craving and felt relieved by scrolling social media. Few shorts, few reels you saw, and you scrolled, and here you go. No frustration, you got relief from the frustration, and then finally it's done. Now, what happens? Now, this becomes a cycle. After uh, going through this process again and again and again, what would happen? Your reward part will be automatically get hooked with the cue. Example, one more example. Your phone gets vibrated. Okay, your phone is vibrating. Now, what is your craving? The signal you got a signal. In the response to this particular craving, to this particular signal or cue, what would happen? You will crave to know who's calling or who is texting. Now, to have this craving done up, What would you do in response? You will check the phone and you will pick up the phone. And what would happen? As a reward, you get satisfied by knowing that, okay, who was that? All right, who was calling you up? So that is also a generic example. Now, how your reward gets connected with the cue. Now, after a certain period of time, when you will follow this process for a long time, whenever you will have that cue, that okay, my phone is vibrating, ultimately you will long for the reward. That I want to get satisfied by knowing who was that, and after having a word with them or after responding to them. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, we learn about this later. All right, now let us get into the skin of the four laws. Now, let us go through it once. In the beginning, I told you that there are four laws. In the four laws, the system goes same of the habit loop. Cue, make it obvious. Craving, to crave for a certain thing. How would you create a good habit? To crave for a certain thing, you need to make it attractive so that you can tend towards that particular thing. Response, make it easy so that you can respond on it. And reward, make it satisfying. Any particular habit that you want to make. On the contrary, if you want to change change your bad habit, now what would you do? Number one, make it invisible. If you're longing for something, just make it invisible. The cue would be make it invisible. We'll not see it, we'll not feel it, we'll not hear it, we'll not get into it. Craving, to crave less for a bad habit, what we can do, we can make it unattractive, that it is not good for us. It is so bad, it is so a cheap sort of thing. Response, make it difficult to do. Make it difficult to do as in you're just unable to achieve it and do it. It is too hard to do. And reward should be make it unsatisfying. Even after doing that particular thing, that bad habit, you did not feel satisfying. You still felt bad. So that is all about how can you break a bad habit and get rid of it. All right, checking on to the laws now. Law number one, make it obvious. Now, this law says there is a crux over the screen you can see. Behavior change starts with awareness. And there is a habit scorecard. There has to be your environment designed as per your new habit creation, just not to adapt it. You need to create it for yourself. We learn it now and make the right choice, the easy choice. The right thing should be easy now. Let us check how. Number one, how will you get aware of it? That what habit do you have as of now, and what is going on exactly with you? In our everyday life, we don't know exactly what all we are dealing with. Many a times, we don't know exactly what our habits are, what are the things we are doing on everyday basis. For example, you will not realize that any XYZ thing has become your habit or not. Now, to know that, what can you do? You can generate a scorecard, the habit scorecard. This will evaluate your daily habits and are they supporting your goals or holding you back? Every habit is a vote for the person you want to become. Now, when you will make a scorecard, how will you make a scorecard? You will just pen down your habits. What are you doing? What is your routine? What is your daily routine? Example, you wake up, turn off the alarm, check your phone, go to the bathroom, weigh yourself, take a shower, brush my teeth, floss my teeth, put some deodorant, hang up towel to dry, and get dressed and make a cup of tea. Now, this is all the basic things that you are doing on everyday basis. Now, how will you generate a scorecard out of this? Nothing but add a plus for positives minus for negatives, and equals to for neutral habits. Example, waking up is a neutral habit. You can't change it or break it either. Turn off your alarm. Okay, neutral one. Checking my phone just after waking it up. No, it is a bad one. So just put a negative mark on that. Minus. Go to the bathroom. It is a neutral habit again. Weighing yourself, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, floss your teeth, put on deodorant, etc. These are all positives one. Now, what is happening now? You don't need to change it at this point of time. At this point of time, when you're creating a new habit, all you need to do is just checking on it on everyday basis and then analyze what is going well, what is going off, what is going well with you. They are good, they are very nice, they are beneficial for you, and what is bad, which is a negative mark on you and which is not benefiting you in any particular manner. Next, what we can do now, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it as fate. This is said by Carl Jung. Nothing but if you will not be aware of yourself, what are you doing exactly on everyday basis? Ultimately, it will direct your life in that manner. If I am wasting my time, not just wasting my time, my efforts, my all the pressure is coming on my I just woke up and start using my phone for saying for 5 minutes until 1 hour I'm using my phone. What is happening? Just right after waking it up, my eyes are getting strained because of the blue light. Yep. But what will happen in the longer run? If I will continue doing this unconsciously, unknowingly, unawarely, I don't know, am I doing a wrong thing or not? Ultimately, when I will end up damaging my eyesight or weakening my eyesight, or any harmful effects on my skin or my eyes or something, or my memory or my consumption time or my loss of time, what will I say? It was just a fate. It just happened. I don't know how it happened, but it happened to me. That is why we need to be aware that what we are doing, we have to be very much aware about it, very much clear about it, and very much alert about it. All right. Now, some implementation strategies are there to generate a new habit, to have a new habit. You can note it down as well or take the screenshots, whatever suits you the best. When and where to act. When and where to act. When basically means time, and where basically means the place. Where do you want to do that? For an instance, when situation X arises, I will perform response Y. How? Let us check. Now there is a whole formula for this. I will behavior, what you will behave at time, at what time, in location. Example, I will study biology for 1 hour at 8 p.m. in the bedroom. In the bedroom. So you are now not in a vague sense that, okay, what, there are two statements. One, I need to study biology. I will do that later. This is a vague sentence. There is no specificity there. Okay. And then there is another statement. I will study biology for 1 hour at 8 p.m. in the bedroom. Now you know all the specific parts of this particular act. Okay. So that's how you can implement things. Next, the habit stacking. What is a stacking? Nothing but just adjusting your new habits with the current one. How? Use the connectedness of your habits to your advantage, like existing stacked with the new. How is this going to happen? Another formula. After current habit, I will new habit. Example, the vague example. After I take a break, which break? We don't know. I eat a meal. After I eat a meal, which meal? We don't know. Now, specification, After I study biology, this is my current habit. You would be having this everyday thing that you will do something. I will go to bed at 9. 9 is too early. You can do 10 or 10:30. That's fine too. But yeah, try to sleep as early as possible. Yeah, just an example. All right, moving ahead. After this habit stacking, environment versus motivation. The next thing, what you need to learn about environment versus motivation. Motivation is pretty short term. We need to create an environment around us so that we can have the best possible outcome that we are desiring for. Environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. That is said by James Clear. What is all around us, it actually shapes our behavior. Let us learn how. So, what we can do, we can just divide our zones and act accordingly. How we can divide our zones? Okay. For example, this is your house plan, uh, this is your home. Example, this is a bedroom, this is the living room, we have the kitchenery, and we have a gallery, and we have a dining table. So just decide the zones. The bedroom, the sleeping zone, the living area, the relaxing zone, the dining table, and near to the kitchen, it is the eating zone, and the gallery or the side areas where you can just chill and read something and study something. That could be your reading zone. Now, it is all about the setup as well. What you can do, you can just keep these zones strictly attached to your habits. Whenever you want to relax, you don't want to sleep, you just want to chill, you just want to relax, you can stay in the living area by the TV. And when you want to read something, read a new thing, read a new article, read a new technology, read nothing but your basic notes or something, revision and everything. So you can have it in a different area. That zone, that area. Anjali has raised her hand. Anjali, you want to ask something? Anjali, you want to ask something? Anjali, are you there?
Anjali, you may ask your question.
Mistakenly, she has raised her hand, I believe. I will take up all the questions at the end of the session. We will just wrap it up soon, and then we can have a chit chat. We can have a Q&A session, and then we can wrap it up. Okay? Whatever questions you have, kindly raise it, and then I'll answer all your queries. Okay. So these are the zones that you can decide. All right. Moving ahead. Law number 2, make it attractive. Now, when you are deciding to build a new habit, on the contrary to law number 1, that was making it obvious around you, in front of you. Okay, one more thing. For example, if you have set a reading zone, then kindly keep your books available over there. If you will not see the books, you will end up being lazy at some time. Okay, so kindly keep your environment in such a manner, design it in such a manner that you can have all the cues available over there. And whenever you go there, whenever you sit there, so you are doing that particular activity. Now, coming to law number 2, that is make it attractive. How will you attract? There are certain points in this particular law. Attraction fuels habit formation, desire drives action, the dopamine feedback loop, and the social influence or change. Now, we learn about dopamine here. the happy hormone, the pleasure hormone. Now, we think that it is all about pleasure, but it has a very big role in habit formation too, and habit science too. How is it? Example: the spike in the dopamine will give you a spike in the motivation to do a particular habit, to do a particular thing that you want to make a habit now, a new habit one. Now, earlier it was all about pleasure. Now we have learned that it has, gradually people are learning about it, that it has things to do with memory, motivation, learning, punishment, and voluntary movement. That particular rage and spike in the hormone of dopamine, what happens exactly? In the book itself, um, James Clear has mentioned that the the gambler who gamble, they get a very hike, they get a great hike of dopamine spike before betting rather than after betting. Okay. Whenever we are doing a particular adventurous activity, the dopamine spike is beforehand more than the afterward. Okay. So now it is related to motivation, learning, memory, punishment, and voluntary movement as well. Craving pleasure versus experiencing pleasure. The same example that I gave, there is a spike on both the sides. In the craving one, the spike is more for dopamine. In the experience pleasure, it is a little less, scientifically proven. Now, temptation bundling. Temptation bundling is nothing but it works by linking your action, what you want to do, with an action, what you need to do. Now, wants and needs, two particular things. Need that you cannot avoid, want what you want to generate now. Example, how will you bundle it now? How will you stack it up now? After habit I need, another formula. I will, habit I want. For example, here the example is reversed. After I complete my chemistry revision, I will watch my favorite TV show. First, you have to keep the habit you want and then the habit you need. Okay. For example, revision is must and you're not doing it, but you want to do it. It is there is a need for that. So accordingly, you have to set it up. At first, I will do this and then I will do that. That basically means after doing this, my reward will be that. After once I complete my revision quickly, I can watch my favorite TV or favorite show, favorite OTT. Now, the group influence. What happens exactly? We are continually wondering what will others think of me and altering our behavior based on the answer. Whatever people think of us, we make our behavior as per that. What can we do on the alternative? For example, there is a group of friends you have, and you want to have a spike and a very great rise in your percentage this time, or anything that you want to learn. You want to learn any arts thing, any sports thing, or any music thing, whatever. But there, the set of people that you're around, they are not into it. They are demotivating you. So they are not agreeing to that particular thing. They don't want to learn that. So they will altering. Hi, Nitin. Altering basically means changing. That changes our behavior. And voluntary basically means what we do on participation mode. Okay. All right. So what we can do now, we want to learn that particular thing. We want to make that particular habit. What we can do? Very simple, very easy. Find groups to join where the habit you desire is the norm. Example, if you want to learn music, join a group of people where there is all about music. If you want to learn some um, abacus or something, computers or something, programming or something, you want to learn coding, and the friends you have are in only in sports. So join a group where coding is a norm. Everybody is learning coding, everybody is doing the same thing. So this will make you feel comfortable on what you want to learn and you're desiring for, and you will find it easy and happy thing to do. How to reprogram your brain to enjoy hard habits. You can make hard habits more attractive if you can learn to associate them with positive experiences. Now, how are we going to enjoy hard habits? This is very difficult. What we can do? Norm is basically a rule, what we need to follow, any which ways. If you're in a music class, you cannot study there. You just have to learn music. So that is the norm, the policies, the rules. Okay. So here we can see how are we going to enjoy the hard habits now? It is very much difficult. Associate them with positive experiences. Said by James Clear. Okay. How is this going to happen now? I'll give you an example. Judge it on the basis of positivity and negativity in your head. Now, if you will, for example, somebody is exercising, somebody is going to the gym, somebody has to, put off some weight or something, or just to become fit, just to become active. Now, if he will think it as if it is a very positive thing and it will keep him fit, keep him active, keep his stamina up, so that will be a positive thing and it will make you do that thing. It will attract, it will become an attractive thing for you to go to gym or to do some exercise, yoga or whatever. But if you will think that I'm going to get tired, I'm going to lose myself, oh my god, it will be so draining for me, let's not do it, let's skip Surya Namaskar. So what would happen? You will end up not doing it at all. And then another example we have, studying for a longer period of time. If you will keep it, if you will think of it as a positive experience, for example, exams are going to hit within 2 months. Up. Now, what happens usually? Students are like, okay, abhi se kaun padhega? Who is going to study from now? Let us see it in the afterwards. Rather than seeing it a waste of time and waste of efforts and too much, too hard on you, too hard on time and everything, see it as if you will not have to work that hard and that rigorously by the end of the session, by the end of the class. You will just have to work a little now. You have to just study rigorously every day so that in the end, you will just have to revise. You don't have to learn new patterns, new chapters, new things, and you will not get disturbed as well. Everything will be under control for you. Another example we have, saving money. Uh-oh, if you will see saving money as having a handful of money and full of resources in the near future, you will end up saving more. You will love to save that. Okay, I will buy this. I can buy this in the future. I can buy a gift for my friend. I can buy something important for me, and I will have the good amount of money in the future. But if you will think of it as a miser, is it proving you a miser? Will you run short of money? Will you not be able to spend the money what you want to spend and the amount of money? Then you will end up spending more and saving less, and ultimately you will run out of money. So program your brain to see the positive uh, efforts, positive impact more than the negative one. The positive aspects should be more seen than the negative ones. Law number 3, make it easy peasy. How can we do that? Three basic things. The law of least effort, follow the 2-minute rule, think of how many times rather than how long. How can we do that? Least effort. How long does it take to form a new habit? Repetition is the key. If you want to form a new habit as soon as possible, you need to repeat it again and again. Let us take the previous example once again. Learning French. You are learning French not for hours every day, but for 15 minutes, for 10 minutes, for a very small amount of time, but every day. Repetition is must. Now, Reducing friction, the law of least effort. Less the barrier, more the easiness. The hardships, reduce the hardships. Do not make it hard on you. How we can see that? Let us check on the example. Rather than keeping barriers on the good habits. For example, okay, I will do it later. Today I'm a little busy. Okay, not even not we can I cannot read a page today. If I want to develop a good habit, that is reading, and a bad habit is there that I have is playing video games for very long time. Now, if you will put a barrier in the good habit, that okay, today I'm very tired, let me not read a little line even today, it will be a difficulty for you at the end. Rather than put the barrier in the bad habit, as in playing video games. Okay, let me just finish off my good thing first, and we'll see it later on. We'll play the video game later on. Just put your phone somewhere else. Okay, put your phone somewhere else, somewhere far away from you, so that there is a barrier, there is a stoppage in between your bad habits loop. Next thing next, the 2 minute rule. Stop procrastinating, for heaven's sake. Need not to procrastinate for this much, even if for 2 minutes. If you cannot read a page to be a reader, just read half a paragraph, two, three, 4 lines. But yes, do it just for the sake of saying, just to not break the chain. Do it. Need not to break the chain. It is very much important. Law number 4, make it satisfying. How can you make it satisfying? How can you make it satisfying? Make your brain believe that this thing is satisfactory. This is a very nice thing. After reading one page every day and becoming a reader, I would end up having more stories with me. I would end up having more knowledge about things, and then the surrounding, then the people I am with, then my friends. Understand the concept of immediate and delayed returns. Very important. And next thing, track your habits with a tracker. Now, we need to understand what is immediately rewarded is repeated, what is immediately punished is avoided. That is why we need to repeat we need to join our goals to some sort of reward. That okay, this is giving me this sort of satisfaction. Okay, if you will get punished because of this, if you will not feel any satisfactory feeling, and if you will not feel rewarded enough, then you will end up avoiding it. If you will read every day but you're not learning new vocabulary, new words, new stories, then you will avoid it. But if you will get rewarded, if somebody will praise you, you have learned few good words, you have made your vocabulary better, that's really nice, oh my god, such a great story you have, so then you will repeat the habit. So the craving will be directly connected to the reward. Okay. Concept of immediate and delayed returns. Have patience to get the desired results. How? Okay, let us learn that. The concept is nothing but with bad habits. The starting phase would be happy, happy, but in the longer run, you will end up being in trouble more. Whereas in the good habits, what happens in the graph? In the initial phase, in the starting period, you will feel a little difficulties that you're facing, and you are getting tired of things and everything. But later on, when you will develop those habits, you will end up becoming happy. So we need to understand and realize the concept of immediate and delayed returns. Next thing next, reward yourself and feel successful. Rewarding yourself and feeling successful is very important. How? For example, for example, once you are doing something, okay, you have read quite a page. Okay, you have a particular book of your interest, you have started reading. Now, with each completion of each chapter, reward yourself. Reward could be in any manner. Reward could be in any manner. If you want it to be money, then put some coins or some notes in a particular jar. If you just want to see the difference and see your rewards and your success, what you can do, in an empty jar, put some pebbles, the stones or pebbles. You can see after a certain while the jar will start getting full. So it will make you go a happy feeling. Okay, it will make you go gaga after a while. Now, next, the habit tracker. Track your habits. Keep a track of your progress so that it becomes evident that you are achieving more. If you will not keep a track, you will never know that what you did, what you didn't. Okay, how much progress have you made? So kindly keep a habit tracker, which is very much important to mark up your progress. All right. Don't break the chain, dear ones. Bad days will come and go, but you stay determined. Even if you had a very tiresome day, school was very hectic, you didn't get good time, you didn't get time to, rest or something, still apply the 2 minute rule. Do the new habit for even 2 minutes, but do it. Do not break the chain. It will help you to grow prosperously. A quick revision. Now we are heading towards the end of the session. Just winding it up now. How to create a good habit? Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. How to break a bad habit? Make it invisible. Just checking too much phone? Just keep it somewhere else. Just keep it under the sofa or somewhere for a little while. Just tell your mom, okay? Otherwise, you will also forget. And ultimately, you will end up getting scolded. Make it invisible so that you cannot even see that. Make it unattractive. Okay, keep it, think of it as a very time based thing, and a very unattractive thing that, okay, this is not good, not great. Make it somehow like that. Make it difficult for you. If you are just stopping up your alarm, putting it on snooze mode every second, put your phone away from your bed. Best thing. I have applied it myself and got a win-win situation as well. Make it difficult. You will not have you will not have the access to the phone. You will not end up in that alarm snoozing thing. Make it unsatisfying. Do not feel good or rewarded about it once it is done. Feel like, okay, quite a normal thing. Now, my very last phrase for all of you: you have great potential, all of you bright minds. You have great potential and you can do it. May it be anything and everything, you can achieve it in a very possible manner. Thanking you all for being a very patient listener to me. And I would love to have an open conversation with you people now.
Uh, Thank you, Ms. Zaba, for such an inspiring and insightful session. I think your words have had a truly lasting impact, and I'm sure the audience now has a much more clear understanding of the everyday habits that they need to inculcate in their daily lives, which will eventually help them, in their academic and personal growth. Now we are opening the floor for questions. If you have doubts or any topic, please raise your hands and you can ask the question. Anyone with any questions?
Anything else you would like to discuss, you would like to have a word with? I would be answering your queries.
If you're feeling a little shy in asking something, you can always put your question in the chat box.
Okay, are there any questions? Yeah. What is repetition? Repetition is nothing but repeating the same thing again and again. And what is a barrier? It is a stoppage sort of thing. Stone in the way, that is a barrier. Hopefully,
I
there are no
think
questions.
students are feeling a little shy in asking their question because it is related to habit. I don't think so. One must be feeling, comfortable in saying, okay, fine, I have this bad habit. How do I need to, Change
See,
it.
we also have certain bad habits.
Yes.
And personally, I have dealt with each age group category of students. Right now, I'm dealing with the BTech students from first year to final year, MBA students. I am dealing with pharmacy students. I'm dealing with earlier. I have taught till high school itself, so I have seen all the age groups, and I know the psyche as well. We have a question. Okay, ma'am. If we leave one day, so we feel that it broke the streak, how can we overcome it? See, a sort of contract or sort of punishment, keep a punishment. For example, what you can do if you break the chain for one day, keep a coin, some money in your piggy bank. Do something. What you are going to do with that money, just cut off some amount and put it so that you are getting charged of not doing something. And you feel that you got punished. Ultimately, it is your money. But yeah, you cannot use it at that particular point of time.
Are there any more questions?
Anything, you can ask me anything. Yes, somebody has raised their hand. Kindly speak up, dear.
Yeah, so my question is that so as you know, winters are going on and the school timings have gotten late. So I found it difficult to manage time after school.
It is very difficult. Trust me, we are not even able to, woke up early in the morning. It is too cozy these days. It will be great if you can just switch on your camera. I can see your face as well. May I know your name, please, dear? Who is he? The Zoom user? His name is not there. Okay, it's fine. If you don't want to show your face, I'll answer your question. I know it is pretty much difficult, and the school timings are fluctuating because of the weather. It happens in all the weathers. Number one. Number two, apply the 2 minute rule. If you are dealing with some breakage of habits in your tracker, just make sure that you are doing that, just even for the sake of saying, but do it. Do not do not lose it so easily. It gets very difficult to manage time in the fluctuations of timing. You must have your coachings and your tuitions and your co-curricular activities and your studies, and everything is going on, but make sure you are doing it. If not, then punish yourself in a good manner, not in a bad manner, not too harsh, but yes, a very small sort of punishment. Okay, we should make our habitats ourselves, or parents should make our habitats. As if we not follow their habitat, we get scolded, but habits made by them are not comfortable. Hmm, this is very true. Parents are like this only. But it is for your benefit. You can have a word with them, have an open conversation. I want to make this area as per this particular activity of mine. They will help you, they will guide you. If that area is not available, they will ask you to make it to another area. But you can always have a small space where you can do your stuff. It is not that difficult, not that unachievable.
All right. Once again, thank you so much. Thank you to all the enthusiastic and and for students for participating. And a very big thank you to you, Ms. Zaba, for sharing your wisdom and experience with us today.
It was really nice experience to me as well. I have always enjoyed the company of the bright minds, and I really feel humbled and grounded, and I feel really proud as well whenever I contribute even a little bit. This is my goal. This is my small system that I have to contribute to the kids, to the kids' individuality, the personality. That is my goal.
I
Yes,
think
Swapin.
so. There is a question. Let me just.
Yes, Swapin.
Ma'am, can you give your personal phone number also if you contact with yourself? and after some days later, 15 days, 30 days later, later, for more
I
motivators,
can, yes, I
not
can motivate you. I
it
can
can
motivate
also
you
for
definitely,
students.
but I can provide you with my email ID. Okay, I'm putting it in the chat box. You can drop me an email whenever you feel like. Okay.
Okay.
Ms. Zeba, can you take one more question? I think so now people are feeling more comfortable.
Yes, 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 definitely. I'm not able to send this. Okay. All right. Now you have my ID in the chat box. You can just have it. Yes, 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 Neha. Neha, please go ahead with your question.
Nehal, can you hear us? Hello, Nehal, can you hear us? Don't know. Maybe some network issue or
No issues. Anyone else would like to ask me anything? You have my email ID in the chat box. You can ping me anytime. I'll try to revert as soon as possible, but definitely would revert all of you.
all right. Thank you, Ms. Zeba, for joining us today.
Thank you so much for providing me this platform, Shambhavi.
To all the participants who joined us, the recording of the session will be available on our Camp NASA login panel. And for any further support, feel free to reach out via our website, helpline, or social media. Before we conclude, we request you all to take a moment to fill out a quick survey form. Your feedback will help us to improve and serve you better. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of today's camp workshop. Stay tuned for our next exciting camp session. Until then, keep exploring, learning, and applying these strategies in your lives. Thank you.
Ma'am. चलो मैम बाय